They use the pronouns he, his, him a lot, okay. Are men more likely to be narcissists than women?
They are.
So why is that?
The statistics have always been very clear on that. It's much more prevalent in men. If I were to take all the narcissists in the world, my guess would be 80-20.
Wow.
That's changing. That's changing. Sad to say, this is one of those times women are going to break this glass ceiling. And they're catching
the narcissist glass ceiling.
Yeah, but yeah, it's definitely more men, and part of that is socialization. Men, even as boys, are not taught to talk about their emotions as much, to not be as tuned into that. Empathy, compassion, vulnerability, these things are not valued in boys and they're not valued in men, and those are often the core of character. And so we tell boys, ignore those feelings, toughen up, and so that toughen upness can turn into things like a lack of empathy. And so men are also very measured on their achievements. Being a provider,
right.
Making lots of money, having a big title, having a big house. And so those kinds of drives, which are definitely pushed more for men, more valued in men, those again are very superficial drives. And so as a result, they're going to be more manifested in men, which again can make that greater vulnerability to being more narcissistic. We just tolerate it more. If a woman behaves in a narcissistic way, she's often checked early in the game. Whereas if a boy or a man behaves that way, he's not called out.
Would you even say maybe they're applauded?
Oh, not only are they applauded, they're our CEOs.
Yeah.
They're our world leaders.
Right.
They are our celebrities. They are our athletes. They are our music stars. You better believe it. In fact, if I wrote a book on narcissism, it becomes a how-to guide for how to achieve in the New World Order.
That is a huge, huge statement.
Yeah, and it's true.
And it's true.
It's
wow.
true. Yeah,
if you wrote a book about narcissism, it would be the how-to guide on how to succeed in the New World Order.
Yes. In business and in wealth accumulation, yes. In your interpersonal life, absolutely not.
Yeah. I want to talk very quickly about the mental health implications of leaning into that narcissism for success. What does that do to somebody's internal mental health?
I don't think you can fake narcissism. I think you can fake it for a minute. I often talked about, in fact, in my second book, I did talk about this concept of acquired narcissism or acquired entitlement. And by that I meant, if you're incredibly wealthy, you're very used to the world running on your schedule. You have a team of assistants, people picking you up in cars, you don't wait in lines, the world really works smoothly for you, if you will. What can happen is then when they go back to normal life, like they're with their friends or people from their past, they may have that very kind of like quick, entitled, do this, do that, and then someone will say, slow down, sister. I am not your assistant, and they'll often be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, and they'll be genuinely ashen at that. So I